I'm back. Back so soon. We are reading corner ready. We got ready during our scripture reading for the night. Just a short chapter from the final advice of the book of Jude. And then our daily calendar reading. And we did some taps on a cookie book. And I had a little chit chat. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I always do. So, our fluffy blanket. Soft, fluffy pillows. You got them? Are you ready? Ready to read with me? Ready to read to sleep? Okay, I think I'm ready. Got my ginger ale over here. Alright, Matilda, I kind of awkwardly stopped. I apologize. At the, we started chapter 4, I think. Let's see. Let us see. Shall we? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we read the ghost, and I started arithmetic and got like a page into it, and ended up having to stop. I was having issues with my storage, and I apologize for that. So it's all squared away now. So we started arithmetic, and we'll go back into that. And I think I'm going to try to do 2 tonight. So arithmetic and the Platinum Blonde Man, which are, so that would be chapters 5 and 6, right? Chapters 5 and 6. And let's go. Let me get a quick sip of ginger ale. Alright. Where? Oh, I just stopped at the end of the page. So Mr. Wormwood has come in from work, and he is going to test his son's arithmetic with figures from the day. And let's just do from here down, because it kind of just explains. We'll just reread it. In came Mr. Wormwood in a loud check suit and a yellow tie. The appalling broad orange and green check of the jacket and trousers almost blinded the onlooker. He looked like a low-grade bookmaker, dressed up for his daughter's wedding, and he was clearly very pleased with himself this evening. He sat down in an armchair and rubbed his hands together and addressed his son in a loud voice. Well, my boy, he said, your father's had a most successful day. He is a lot richer tonight than he was this morning. He has sold no less than 5 cars, each one at a tidy profit. Sawdust in the gearboxes, the electric drill on the speedometer cables, a splash of paint here and there, and a few other clever little tricks, and the idiots were all falling over themselves to buy. He fished a bit of paper from his pocket and studied it. Listen, boy, he said, addressing the son and ignoring Matilda. Seeing as you'll be going into this business with me one day, you've got to know how to add up the profits you make at the end of each day. Go and get yourself a pad and a pencil, and let's see how clever you are. The son obediently left the room and returned with the writing materials. Write down these figures the father said, reading from his bit of paper. Car number 1 was bought by me for £278 and sold for 1,425. Got that? The 10-year-old boy wrote the two separate amounts down slowly and carefully. Car number 2, the father went on, cost me £118 and sold for $760. Got it? Yes, Dad, the son said. I've got that. He looks like a psychopath. That's crazy. Car number 3 cost £111 and sold for £999.50. Say that again, the son said. How much did it sell for? £999.50, the father said. And that, by the way, is another of my nifty little tricks to diddle the customer. Never ask for a big, round figure. Always just below it. Never say £1,000. Always say $999.50. It sounds very much less, but it isn't. Clever, isn't it? Very, the son said. You're brilliant, Dad. Car number 4 cost £86. A real wreck that was. And sold for £699.50. Not too fast, the son said, writing the numbers down. Right, I've got it. Car number 5 cost £637 and sold for $1,649.50. You got all those figures written down, son? Yes, Daddy, the boy said, crouching over his pad and carefully writing. Very well, the father said. Now work out the profit I made on each of the 5 cars and add up the total. Then you'll be able to tell me how much money your rather brilliant father made altogether today. That's a lot of sums, the boy said. Of course it's a lot of sums, the father answered. But when you're in big business like I am, you've got to be hot stuff at arithmetic. I've practically got a computer inside my head. It took me less than 10 minutes to work the whole thing out. You mean you did it in your head, Dad? The son asked, goggling. Well, not exactly, the father said. Nobody could do that, but it didn't take me long. When you're finished, tell me what you think my profit was for the day. I've got the final total written down here, and I'll tell you if you're right. Matilda said quietly, Dad, you made exactly £4,303.50 altogether. Don't put in, the father said. Your brother and I are busy with high finance. But Dad... Oh. Shut up, the father said. Stop guessing and trying to be clever. Look at your answer, Dad, Matilda said gently. If you've done it right, it ought to be £4,303.50. Is that what you've got, Dad? The father glanced down at the paper in his hand. He seemed to stiffen. He became very quiet. There was a silence. Then he said, Say that again. £4,303.50, Matilda said. There was another silence. The father's face was beginning to go dark red. I'm sure it's right, Matilda said. You little cheat, the father suddenly shouted, pointing at her with his finger. You looked at my bit of paper. You read off it from what I've got written here. Daddy, I'm on the other side of the room, Matilda said. How could I possibly see it? Don't give me that rubbish, the father shouted. Of course you looked. You must have looked. No one in the world could have the right answer just like that, especially a girl. You're a little cheat, madam, That's what you are, a cheat and a liar. Madam, I love it. At that point, the mother came in carrying a large tray on which were the four suppers. This time it was fish and chips, which Mrs. Wormwood had picked up in the fish and chip shop on her way home from bingo. It seemed that bingo afternoons left her so exhausted, both physically and emotionally, that she never had enough energy left to cook an evening meal. So, if it wasn't TV dinners, it had to be fish and chips. "What are you looking so red in the face about, Harry?" she said as she put the tray down on the coffee table. "Your daughter's a cheat and a liar," the father said, taking his plate of fish and placing it on his knees. "Turn the telly on and let's not have any more talk." Oh, that was it. Turn the telly on and let's not have any more talk. He shut it down. "You're a little cheat, madam. That's what you are. A cheat and a liar, madam." Goodness. Okay, the platinum blonde man. There was no doubt in Matilda's mind that this latest display of foulness by her father deserved a severe punishment, and as she sat eating her awful fried fish and fried chips and ignoring the television, her brain went to work on various possibilities. By the time she went up to bed, her mind was made up. Ginger ale. The next morning, she got up early and went into the bathroom and locked the door. As we already know, Mrs. Wormwood's hair was dyed a brilliant platinum blonde, very much the same glistening silvery color as a female tightrope walker's tights in a circus. The big dyeing job was done twice a year at the hairdresser's, but every month or so in between, Mrs. Wormwood used to freshen it up by giving it a rinse in the wash bin with something called platinum blonde hair dye, extra strong. This also served to dye the nasty brown hairs that kept growing from the roots underneath. The bottle of platinum blonde hair dye extra strong was kept in the cupboard in the bathroom, and underneath the title on the label were written the words, "Caution, this is peroxide. Keep away from children." Matilda had read it many times with fascination. Matilda's father had a fine crop of black hair, which he parted in the middle and of which he was exceedingly proud. Good, strong hair, he was fond of saying, means there's a good, strong brain underneath. Like Shakespeare, Matilda had once said to him. "Like who?" "Shakespeare, Daddy." "Was he brainy?" "Very, Daddy." "He had masses of hair, didn't he?" "He was bald, Daddy." To which her father had snapped, "If you can't talk sense, then shut up." Oh my goodness. He's terrible. Anyway, Mr. Wormwood kept his hair looking bright and strong, or so he thought, by rubbing into it every morning large quantities of a lotion called Oil of Violets Hair Tonic. A bottle of this smelly purple mixture always stood on the shelf above the sink in the bathroom, alongside all the toothbrushes, and a very vigorous scalp massage with an oil of violets took place alongside all the toothbrushes, and a very vigorous scalp massage with the oil of violets took place daily after shaving was completed. This hair and scalp massage was always accompanied by loud masculine grunts, and heavy breathing and gasps of, "Ah, that's better, that's the stuff, rub it right into the roots," which could be clearly heard by Matilda in her bedroom across the corner. Now, the corridors. Now, in the early morning privacy of the bathroom, Matilda unscrewed the cap of her father's oil of violets and tipped 3/4 of the contents down the drain. Then she filled the bottle up with her mother's platinum blonde hair dye, extra strong. She carefully left enough of her father's original hair tonic in the bottle, so when she gave it a good shake, the whole thing still looked reasonably purple. She then replaced the bottle on the shelf above the sink, taking care to put her mother's bottle back in the cupboard. So far, so good. At breakfast time, Matilda sat quietly at the dining room table, eating her cornflakes. Her brother sat opposite her with his back to the door, devouring hunks of bread smothered with a mixture of peanut butter and strawberry jam. The mother was just out of sight around the corner in the kitchen, making Mr. Wormwood's breakfast, which always had to be 2 fried eggs on fried bread with 3 pork sausages and 3 strips of bacon and some fried tomatoes. That actually sounds delicious. At this point, Mr. Wormwood came noisily into the room. He was incapable of entering any room quietly, especially at breakfast time. He always had to make his appearance felt immediately by creating a lot of noise and clatter. One could almost hear him saying, "It's me, here I come." The great man himself, the master of the house, the wage earner, the one who makes it possible for all the rest of you to live so well. Notice me and pay your respects. On this occasion, he strode in and slapped his son in the back and shouted, "Well, my boy, your father feels he's in for another great money-making day today at the garage. I've got a few little beauties I'm going to flog to the idiots this morning. Where's my breakfast?" "It's coming, treasure," Mrs. Wormwood called from the kitchen. Matilda kept her face bent low over her cornflakes. She didn't dare look up. In the first place, she wasn't at all sure what she was going to see. And secondly, if she did see what she thought she was going to see, she wouldn't trust herself to keep a straight face. The sun was looking directly ahead, out of the window, stuffing himself with bread and peanut butter and strawberry jam. The father was just moving round to sit at the head of the table when the mother came sweeping out from the kitchen, carrying a huge plate piled high with eggs and sausages and bacon and tomatoes. She looked up. She caught sight of her husband. She stopped dead. Then she let out a scream that seemed to lift her right up into the air, and she dropped the plate with a crash and a splash on the floor. Everyone jumped, including Mr. Wormwood. "What the heck's the matter with you, woman?" he shouted. "Look at the mess you've made on the carpet." There she's just... Bang. "Your hair!" the mother was shrieking, pointing a quivering finger at her husband. "Look at your hair. What have you done to your hair?" "What's wrong with my hair, for heaven's sake?" he said. "Oh my God, Dad. What have you done to your hair?" the son shouted. A splendid, noisy scene was building up nicely in the breakfast room. I'm sorry, I feel like my voice is weird. Matilda said nothing. She simply sat there, admiring the wonderful effect of her own handiwork. Mr. Wormwood's fine crop of black hair was now a dirty silver, the color this time of a tightrope walker's tights that had not been washed for the entire circus season. Pardon, I'm so sorry. For the entire circus season. You've dyed it," shrieked the mother. "Why did you do it, you fool? It looks absolutely frightful. It looks horrendous. You look like a freak." What the blazes are you all talking about? The father yelled, putting both hands to his hair. I most certainly have not dyed it. What do you mean, I've dyed it? What's happened to it? Or is this some sort of stupid joke? His face was turning pale green, the color of sour apples. You must have dyed it, Dad, the son said. It's the same color as Mom's, only much dirtier looking. Of course he's dyed it, the mother cried. It can't change color all by itself. What on earth were you trying to do? Make yourself look handsome or something? You look like someone's grandmother gone wrong. Get me a mirror, the father yelled. Don't just stand there shrieking at me. Get me a mirror. The mother's handbag lay on a chair at the end of the table. She opened the bag and got out a powder compact that had a small round mirror on the inside of the lid. She opened the compact and handed it to her husband. He grabbed it and held it before his face, and in doing so, spilled most of the powder all over the front of his fancy new tweed jacket. Be careful, shrieked the mother. Now look what you've done. That's my best Elizabeth Arden face powder. Oh my God, yelled the father. God, yelled the father, staring into the little mirror. What's happened to me? I look terrible. I look just like you, gone wrong. I can't go down to the garage and sell cars like this. How did it happen? He stared around the room, first at the mother, then at the son, then at Matilda. How could it have happened? He yelled. I imagine, Daddy, Matilda said quietly, that you weren't looking very hard and you simply took Mommy's bottle of hair stuff off the shelf instead of your own. Of course that's what's happened, the mother cried. Well, Harry, how stupid can you get? Why didn't you read the label before you started splashing stuff all over you? Mine's terribly strong. I'm only meant to use 1 tablespoon of it in a whole basin of water, and you've gone and put it all over your head neat. It'll probably take all your hair off in the end. Is your scalp beginning to burn, dear? You mean I'm going to lose all my hair? The husband yelled. I think you will, the mother said. Peroxide is a very powerful chemical. It's what they put down in the laboratory to disinfect the pan, only they give it another name. What are you saying? The husband cried. I'm not a laboratory pan. I don't want to be disinfected. Even diluted like I use it, the mother told him. It makes a good deal of my hair fall out, so goodness knows what's going to happen to you. I'm surprised it didn't take the whole top of your head off. What shall I do? Wailed the father. Tell me quick what to do before it starts falling out. I'd give it a good wash, Dad. Matilda said, I'd give it a good wash, Dad, if I were you, with soap and water, but you'll have to hurry. Will it change the color back? The father asked anxiously. Of course it won't, you twit, the mother said. Then what do I do? I can't go around living like this forever. You'll have to have it dyed black, the mother said, but wash it first, or there won't be any there to dye. Right, the father shouted, springing into action. Get me an appointment with your hairdresser this instant for a hair dyeing job. Tell them it's an emergency. I've got to boot someone else off their list. They've got to boot someone else off their list. I'm going upstairs to wash it now. With that, the man dashed out of the room, and Mrs. Wormwood sighed deeply, went to the telephone to call the beauty parlor. He does some pretty silly things now and then, doesn't he, Mummy? Matilda said. The mother, dialing the number on the phone, said, I'm afraid men are not always quite as clever as they think they are. You will learn that when you get a bit older, my girl. That's the end. Should we do one more? This honey? let's wait. Let's wait. And I will absolutely see you guys tomorrow. And we'll do Miss Honey and what chapter is next? We'll read Miss Honey. Oh, I guess I could just look in the front. If I could, my hands are so dry. I need to get some lotion. My hands are so dry. So we did arithmetic and the platinum blonde man. Tonight, tomorrow, Miss Honey and the Trunch Bowl. Yes. And it will be glorious. I love this book. It's such a cute little book. Great story.